Hi guys, welcome back to Movement Monday. Been away for a week, refreshed, feeling ready to go. And today we come back and we're continuing with the core, continuing with the sort of the movements that you can do to incorporate some work to build up the core. And today we're going to do up downs. Okay, so basically, as it suggests, you're standing up and then going back down. This is probably the first stage. I would start trying to introduce some form of work to building to the Turkish get-up, which is something that we will discuss later down the road. It's a fantastic movement and should be used as much as possible in people's training. It's something that I've probably not put into my training as much as I should in the recent months, and it's something that will be coming back quite a lot in the circuits and things I set up. It's just a great all-round movement. It sort of tackles all of the the challenges that you want from the body. It sort of puts you in awkward positions. If you obviously, when you add weight to it as well, it helps strengthen and stabilize the shoulder, the hips, the knees, the core, everywhere. But basically, it's a total body movement. But obviously, to build people up to that, to make sure that people are ready for it, you have to ensure that you can do a couple of other things first. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll probably break some parts of it down and bring in other exercises. And when people feel confident with that, we can talk about incorporating the Turkish get-up. It's not as complicated as, say, something like a muscle-up or something like that. It's not it's not the reason why you would do that. But you would have to make sure that people can do certain things first. The great thing about the up-down is that it shouldn't really require too much effort for most people. Obviously, if you have bad knees, bad hips, or struggle to get in certain positions, then obviously it may cause problems. But obviously, as a coach or as someone who trains, you should be able to tell yourself from there. Now, the idea of high-intensity functional fitness, the reason that we do what we do, is because we're obviously trying to build the body for living life and trying to be able to perform as high as you can in daily activities. So that's kind of the idea of the functional fitness world, the world we live in. Now, we don't do that by getting people to stand on BOSU balls and any other means of circuitry. Basically, we're trying to bring in movements that you will generally be doing in a day-to-day and make them a bit more challenging, make them a bit more, make them a bit more difficult, so that when you come to do them in real life, hopefully it will seem much easier. Okay, so the get up and get downs are probably one of my favourites for that, because it's basically just teaching you how to get up from the floor and get back down without having to use arms, without having to use support. Okay, it's trying to build up the strength in the legs, supporting of the knee, mobility of the ankle, that sort of stuff that we've discussed before. It all comes down into this. But also, it's a great core workout because you're having to stabilise that core and holding something overhead. Now, obviously, if you struggle to hold anything overhead, there's a variation to start from, and we can build it up from there. Okay, but hopefully we'll go through a couple of different variations so that you get an opportunity to see exactly what's needed to be done. Okay, guys, so I'm going to pop you down here and then I'll carry on the conversation from there. All right, so plain and simply, okay, the up and down from there. If I was to do it with no weight at all, okay, simply what I'm doing is I'm asking you to go down onto one knee, okay, and then to stand back up, okay, and then all I do is I can alternate between the legs, getting into position, and then standing back up into position from there, okay. Now, obviously, that's okay for me. I don't feel too much problem in terms of getting in those positions, standing up, getting back down. There's no pain, there's no problems from there. If you have pain or it causes pain to do that without any support, without any help, obviously it may be better to consult a professional, a medical professional to ensure that you are able to do that, or there may be issues with knee joints or arthritis or things that are out of the realm of what I teach. But generally speaking, hopefully a lot of you should be able to get up and get down into those positions. Now, what you can start doing, if you can, is making it a bit more difficult and actually start to challenge other areas. That's quite challenging for the lower body just to do with the body weight. When we start bringing in other bits of equipment, then it becomes a bit more challenging for the core, for the shoulders, for the back. Everything else has to then start kicking in and start working from there. So you could just start with the plates, okay, or some bit of weighted implement, a single weighted implement from there, okay. With that plate, obviously, then the goal is to start using it and weighting the movement first. So you might start off with a hug off the plate first, okay? And again, you just do that movement. So you come down to one knee, okay? Stand on that heel, on that front foot, back out with the leg, press back out, stand back up, okay? You're probably looking to do 10 on each leg to start with on that, and that will add a bit of weight to it. Now to make it more challenging again, what you can start then doing is then bringing it overhead. Okay, when you bring it overhead, what you then instantly do is you put yourself into a position which makes it a little bit more awkward. Okay, makes it a bit more difficult. The core there has to start stabilising you as you start going down into that position, and then as you start coming back up, there's obviously a bit of weight there now. So obviously the legs have to bring in that bit more power, that bit more strength to bring that weight back up. Fantastic, you might think. So if a plate is okay and you're feeling strong, okay, you can either go a bit heavier with it, or you can start utilising other implements, okay? Now dumbbells and kettlebells really lend themselves well to this, okay? So I'll show you a double-handed one, okay? So with that, you get 2 kettlebells or 2 dumbbells, okay? You hold it overhead, again, straight overhead, then it's straight back down, onto one knee, down onto both knees, and then stand back up, okay? Instantly, much more challenging, causes that, you know, stability over shoulder, you know, makes that core have to kick in, because obviously it's stopping you from rocking side to side or backwards and forwards. It's holding you straight in that position, so it's a great core workout for that reason, as well as working everything else. Now to make it a little bit more specific to the Turkish get-up, which as I say we'll start working from forward, the final position from a Turkish get-up has you holding the kettlebell overhead and then standing up into that top position, okay? So what this is good for, if you start utilising one kettlebell or one dumbbell to make it a bit more of a challenge again, what you do here is you're obviously making it unilateral, you're making it a single limb dominant movement, okay? So what you have to do then is move the body into positions to allow yourself to stabilise those positions. So from there, holding it overhead with one hand, you go down onto one knee, okay? And then swap around onto the other. Not too dissimilar, as I said, to the Turkish get-up then. You swap it over and keep alternating between each knee. Okay? To help stabilise a bit more, you can look up at the kettlebell as well. That just helps you move up and down those positions, okay guys? So, a few variations there on a simple movement, okay? So, starting with, as I say, just body weight, then starting to bring in a single weighted implement, a plate, or you could just bring in a kettlebell or one dumbbell and hold it to the chest like a goblet squat and start practicing that position. Then you start trying to, if you can, if you're able to get things overhead and do the movement, then it's a great way to start stepping up and building the intensity with the movement from there. But again, it doesn't have to be too heavy, that movement. The goal of that is obviously it can be thrown in as active rest. It can be thrown in as something that you do between, say, again, sets of deadlifts or anything like that. That's not going to be too taxing on the legs, but it's going to start building up that stability, as I say, and movement in the shoulders. It's a great movement just to throw in there. And again, you might just throw it in as an additional exercise in a circuit, you know. So just think about where you can add it. And it's not necessary to add it, all these things into your workouts, or try to. Could be something you bring in for a few weeks and then just, you know, leave out to the other side. But I just quite enjoy it. It's quite a nice exercise to do once you get into the flow of it. As I say, building up to sort of doing 10 on each leg, it starts just getting you used to getting up and down off the floor fairly easily. And obviously, you know, if that's something that you are interested in doing, especially as you get a little later in life, and you feel that's an important skill set to have, to be able to get up and down off the floor, which I believe is, then that is one movement that can help build up the knee stability that you require to help you start doing that much easier in life. Okay guys, so there we go, overhead, up downs from there, a little regressions from there as well. If you can't quite get overhead, you can still add weight to it, add resistance to it, but the goal simply is to get up and down off that floor without any support, without any help. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that one. It's good to be back. I'll see you guys later in the week. Just be awesome. I'll catch you later.